Picture a colossal floating marvel, the icon of the seas, towering at a staggering 365 meters. To put it into perspective, that's as long as a lot of football fields lined up end to end. And it's not just long, it's packed with 2,800 rooms, making it a home to thousands of people at the same time. This mammoth ship isn't just huge, it's heavy too, weighing in at a whopping 250,000 gross tons. To make sure everyone can move around comfortably, there are 22 elevators.
Order is placed on an iPad, and I'm surprised to see just how extensive the office,
ensuring people can easily travel from one part of the ship to another. But what makes this floating palace truly mind-boggling is that it actually sails on water. Yes, you heard it right. It doesn't sit still but glides across the oceans, giving nearly 10,000 lucky passengers a chance to explore the world. Now imagine constructing a building on land. It's already a complicated process, right? Now think about building something as enormous as the icon of the seas on water. It's a whole new level of complexity. Yet it happened, capturing the attention of people all around the world. This extraordinary ship isn't just a place to stay. It's a mini-city on its own. Imagine a water park, 40 different restaurants to choose from, and 8 unique neighborhoods, including a charming central park. Yes, you read it right, a park right there on the ship. This floating city isn't a dream or a futuristic idea anymore. It's a reality that is sailing the seas right now. And with its grandeur and features, it's no wonder the internet is buzzing with excitement. Imagine a colossal ship, the icon of the seas, so vast that it's 5 times larger than the famous Titanic and a towering 35 meters taller than the iconic Eiffel Tower. Picture this. It's as if you took New York's Chrysler Building, laid it on its side, and placed it in the ocean. And astonishingly, the ship is even longer. Scheduled to set sail in 2024, the icon of the seas will outshine the current largest operating ship, the Wonder of the Seas, by an additional 3 meters and 2 decks. Constructing this marvel took approximately 2.5 years and happened at Meyer Turku Shipyard in Turku, Finland, a renowned shipbuilding hub in Europe. But before the construction began, meticulous planning occurred in Royal Caribbean's high-tech innovation lab, known as the Cave, located in Miami. Designers analyzed detailed virtual reality renderings from all angles before making crucial decisions. The construction process kicked off with 2 essential maritime traditions: the steel cutting ceremony and the keel laying ceremony, both performed in a dry dock, a special basin that can later be filled with water. During the steel cutting ceremony, the ship's first bits of steel were cut, marking the beginning of this incredible journey. In the keel laying ceremony, the foundational parts of the ship were put into place. A massive 3,000-ton crane lifted a steel block weighing as much as a herd of elephants into the dock, initiating the upward growth of the ship. Imagine building a giant Lego set or playing a game of Tetris, but on a colossal scale. Engineers constructed parts of the ship, including the 2,800 rooms, block by block in a different area of the shipyard. These blocks were then carefully craned onto the dock and meticulously assembled from the bottom up, resembling the way you build a tower of blocks, but on an immense level. Unlike building a skyscraper on land, where the framework shapes the entire building, the icon of the seas utilized extra-strength steel and curved sheet metal, making it lighter and more cost-effective. Typically, skyscrapers are clad in heavy materials like concrete, but the ship's construction leaned on materials that are both sturdy and light. One of the most challenging aspects of the icon's construction was the aquadome, a gigantic glass and steel structure standing 25 meters tall and 50 meters wide.
So pretty much impossible to mess up, so I feel we haven't really tested
the largest of its kind on any cruise ship. Placing such a heavy structure high up on the ship required careful consideration of stability and the ship's center of gravity. And that's how this marvel of the seas, larger and more impressive than anything before it, came into being. A true testament to human ingenuity and engineering brilliance.
So also things like mini golf, the massive slide.
As the icon of the seas took shape, engineers ran a series of tests to make sure everything would work perfectly. Imagine 12 massive pieces made of steel, glass, and aluminum being carefully put together like a giant puzzle. The ship's dome, made of 673 glass panels, was carefully moved into place using a special rig and lots of suspension cables, a process that took more than 6 hours. Over 8 months, the ship came together bit by bit. Once the main construction was done, technicians moved in to add all the finishing touches like furniture and decorations.
Absolutely stunning, and I mean stunning, artisan cheese section.
To get the ship into the water, they filled the dry dock with water and used tugboats to gently guide it to the next part of the shipyard. But how does such a massive structure stay afloat in the ocean? Well, it's all about buoyancy, a principle that says an object can float if it displaces an amount of water equal to its own weight. The Econ is big, but the Ocean is much bigger, so there's plenty of room on board to balance its weight. The ship is made mostly of extra strong steel, which, when combined with air, is less dense than water, keeping the ship afloat. The ship's underwater part, called the hull, is crucial.
Once is 200 tons each, but these are of course a bit lighter.
Unlike small boats with V-shaped hulls for speed, cruise ships like the Icon have U-shaped hulls. These wider and rounder hulls distribute weight and water more evenly, making the ship more stable, even in choppy waves. Now, you might be wondering how the ship stays powered out in the middle of the ocean. Well, the Icon relies on 6 special engines that can run on different fuels. Unlike other ships, it uses liquefied natural gas, a cleaner option. When the ship is in port, it plugs into local power grids instead of running its engines, saving energy and being more environmentally friendly. So, through careful planning and smart engineering, the Icon of the Seas became not just a marvel of design and construction, but also a floating home for thousands of people, ready to explore the world's oceans. How enormous can a cruise ship really become? Is there such a thing as being too big? These are good questions to ponder, especially when we look at the Icon, a ship that some folks have called a monstrosity. Surprisingly, it's been breaking pre-booking records, which suggest that there's a demand for these massive sea structures. However, even if engineers keep figuring out ways to build these giant ships, not all ports can handle their size. Some ports have had to say no to megaships because they're just too big. There are a few reasons for this, like limited space, concerns about pollution, and the impact of too many tourists all at once. So, while the sky might be the limit when it comes to how tall we can build skyscrapers on land, the size of future cruise ships could be capped by the capacity of the ports. As we keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with engineering on land, it might be a bit trickier to do the same thing on the water. Before we dream up the world's next gigantic cruise ship, we might need to think about building even bigger ports first. Thanks for watching the video, and if you found it informative, please like and subscribe to Blueprint Journeys for similar content. We look forward to sharing more knowledge with you in the future. Until then, take care.